Welcome back to Not So Pro. It is Tuesday, 6 o'clock. It's time for some fantasy football talk, y'all. Today, we're talking about fantasy stocks, who's going up and who's going down. This happens every single day where players go up due to, it could be due to injury, it could be due to unhappiness in the team, it could be due to just not playing so well in the preseason and practice. It happens all the time, and we want to keep you guys updated because if you haven't yet, then you guys are right around the corner of having your fantasy draft. If I seem a little tweaky, what's that guy's name from South Park? Tweak, right?
Tweak, yeah.
Tweak.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Tweak?
feel
Okay.
tweaky right now because I need a quick pump. I had work this morning. I needed to go work out, and I bought a $15 pre-workout at Walmart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was pretty crazy. Don't recommend, but you got to do what you got to do, just like what we got to do for fantasy football. Okay, from the thumbnail that you guys see, from the title that y'all see, y'all could also see Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb on the cover of the thumbnail. Vince is tweaking out right now. He had some pre-workout. He's going nuts for some reason. I guess it's just Reed and I. For some reason, it can never be us three.
No,
It just can't.
Universe is keeping us apart. They know how influential and famous we can get if we're all three of us together. So they're making me fall asleep and stuff like that. I don't know. It's really messed up.
It really is. But I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited about fantasy football. I got 2 drafts this upcoming Monday, and then I have another draft the following week on Monday.
This is so unprofessional.
Okay. Everyone stop. Everyone pause. Okay. Israel Thoda says the running back for the Lions is going to be a hit. Okay, Israel. I like that. Okay, I like DeAndre Swift, and honestly, he's going in the top 10 running backs. I'm really psyched about in my mind. Been watching Hard Knocks, super happy, super overall excited about the guy. DeAndre Swift. You got Jamal Adams right behind him. He's going to be taking that 1-2 punch. DeAndre Swift is, and this is why I feel like his fantasy stock is going down.
Wait. Jamal Adams? He's on my team.
Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Did I say Adams? I thought I said
No,
Williams.
he said Williams.
I said Williams.
Said Adams.
You're tweaking, bro.
You're tweaking.
We're gonna play it back.
Yeah, for fantasy, he's going to be he will be a big hit, okay? But I think he's slowly decreasing because of what I'm seeing on Hard Knocks. This guy's very humble, which I love, okay? He's very humble. He doesn't, hey, give me the ball. He's not like, oh, I'm the best. He knows he's running back 1. He knows it. But he plays a little bit without confidence. He doesn't have full confidence on the field, and you saw that in the preseason 1 game where he's hesitating and he's not going through the middle. He's second guessing himself, second guessing his ability to beat out these defensive backs, to beat out these linebackers, and that's what's going to kill him. I do feel like he will be great in fantasy, especially for PPR leagues, or especially if there's points per carry, because he will be the workhorse of that offense. He will be getting that ball most of the time because you cannot rely on Jared Goff with the ball in his hands. But no, I do like that. I do like DeAndre Swift there. So good pick, Israel. I do like that. I want to move on to Derrick Henry. This is probably one of the biggest names out there. Derrick Henry, as much as I hate to say it, I was talking with Vince, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? I hate it because I love King Henry. I do, especially for fantasy. But I can't help to realize that his fantasy stock is actually going down. And I didn't open up my eyes until I was talking with my father on the phone. And he talks to me. We talked for about a good hour just about fantasy football. And I was talking so high on Derrick Henry, and he was like, but Derrick Henry's draft is going down. I was like, why? He's the best. He's the workhorse. He's the bell cow. He's going to be getting the ball. He doesn't share the backfield with anyone else. And then he was like, well, because he lost A.J. Brown. I was like, of course he lost A.J. Brown. That's fine. And then I started thinking, is that really fine? Because now who's the deep threat? Who's the threat in wide receivers? Yeah, they got Robert Woods, but he's coming off from the ACL injury. So when will he be fully healthy? These defense are going to come to the game stacking the box, and I get it. Is Derrick Henry? He's going to be able to get out of there, but how often will he be as productive as he was the past years? AJ Brown was a force to be reckoned with, and he was huge threat when it came to that offense. And now the biggest threat, and maybe the only threat to come in that offense, because you got Ryan Tannehill coming up this season with not a lot of confidence. These defense are going to be ready for Derrick Henry, and they're going to stock at the box. Do I think he's a top 10 player in fantasy? I still think so, but I think he's slowly going down. I even put who did I put above him? Austin Eckler. I put Austin Eckler above Derrick Henry. I fixed up my fantasy draft. It hurt me to do, but I cannot find the courage to put Najee Harris over Derrick Henry just yet. I still like Derrick Henry just a little bit, fantasy wise. What do you guys think?
I think Derrick Henry is fantastic. Obviously, he's going to be one of the best running backs this year. But I definitely understand what you're trying to say, AJ, that the defenses are going to be just ready, just game planning all week long just for Derrick Henry. There's not a lot else on that offense that you need a game plan for. So I definitely think that could potentially hurt him. But at the end of the day, dude's a monster. He's King Henry for a reason. I think he can still put up great points. Now, as far as ranking him against other people in fantasy, I understand why you want to drop him down a little bit. And I think he could potentially have a little bit of a drop, not as good as a year as he used to have. Israel says, don't sleep on Pollard. Pollard's a great running back. Zeke is on his way out potentially. So I definitely agree with that. Pollard could be a good late round draft pick.
Nice. Do you have anyone on the rise, Vincent?
For the running back position,
or for any position? We're talking about fantasy football here.
I'll do my running back position since we're on Derrick Henry right now. I also want to say that I agree with you. I think Austin Eckler is going to have a better year than Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry is still the king. He's going to be a first-round ballot guy for a long time until he retires, probably. But another guy that's on the rise who is not a first ballot guy just yet, but maybe he will be one day. He plays for a franchise that is in the trash can right now. He plays for the Texans. And I know just last week we were talking about Marlon Mack and his ability to maybe have a breakout season with the Texans, even though they don't have a lot of stars on the line. But this guy, Damien Pierce, this past week has been the talk of the town in Houston in their training camp. Damien Pierce, he's a guy from Florida. He is a phenomenal pass blocker from what I can hear from the training camp at Houston. Other than that, I mean, he's got the ability to run just like any other running back. But the thing that really gives him the edge is that Marlon Mack literally had, I believe, 3 rushes or 6 rushes for 3 yards, something like that. So it was in his first preseason debut. He only had 3 yards on 6 carries or 3 carries. I can't remember which one. I'm getting the numbers mixed up. But, I mean, come on, 3 yards after carrying the ball 3 or 6 times. It's not something that you look forward to. So I don't know if it's the line. I don't know if it's Marlon Mack not being able to recover from that Achilles injury. But Damien Pierce has been the talk of the town. And right now he's either getting drafted at position 149 in most leagues, or he's going undrafted and he's on the waiver wire. So, again, really pay attention to these training camps for all 32 teams and just really make sure to see who's going to be the solid starter and who's creeping up. We'll talk a little bit more as we go on along in this episode about players that we think are on the rise and players that we think are on the fall. But Damien Pierce, for me, is one of those guys that could possibly make a pretty big jump and really help you win in your fantasy leagues as a flex position or a guy off the bench when you need someone on the bye week.
Okay.
Nice pick. I like Damien Pierce. Reed, do you have anyone on the going down?
No,
downhill?
I don't have anybody going down.
What?
I like to think positive here, right?
Positive?
Give positive thoughts. None of this down.
Think about Kyler Murray.
I've had enough stocks go down today, man. I can't be thinking like that, all right? Lost too much money today. But I got somebody on the rise. I got a rookie from the Ravens on the rise.
Oh,
Isaiah Likely is likely to have a really good season, all right?
Okay.
Isaiah Likely, I like him a lot. He was a 4th round draft pick for the Ravens, tight end, and he played in the last game. He had 8 targets with 8 receptions. Every single target was caught. 8 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. Now, That's very, very good. But the biggest thing or concern that why you may not want to draft him is because guess what? Who's the number one tight end for the Ravens? That's Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is going to get most of the reps. He's going to get most of the downs, and he's going to get most of the targets. So that's one concerning thing why you may not want to draft Isaiah Likely. But at the end of the day, the Ravens play a lot of two tight end sets, so you could potentially see a lot of Isaiah Likely, and I think if you could draft him in the 15th round, it would be a good pickup.
Nice. I like that, Reed. Hey, good. I like how you said he's likely to be effective.
Yeah, I like his name.
Thank you so much for joining us live. I do believe this is your first time on the show. We do fantasy talk every Tuesday. Cricket H has to say, anyone to put on IR that could come back this year and be good. Okay, there's actually quite a few, because when it comes to IR in some fantasy leagues, it could be you could put players there who are suspended, depending on who your commissioner is. But that's going to be huge, because then you could put people like Alvin Kamara, because I do believe he will be suspended. He's not going to be suspended.
No, his trial is not going to take place until after the year, most likely. So there's a good chance he plays this entire year.
Oh, wow. Okay, so scratch Alvin Kamara, but I think Vince was also talking about OBJ. OBJ could be one as well. He's coming off from an ACL injury. He's not signed to a team just yet, but he will cause some damage with whatever team he joins. DeAndre Hopkins, he is going to be, I believe, on a 6-game suspension, right, due to some performance-enhancing drugs that he got tested positive for. I know there's some injuries that went down today, like Gus Edwards. That's why I'm very high on J.K. Dobbins this upcoming season, because I do feel like he will hit a huge workload. But once Gus Edwards is back, he will be that pass catching back that they utilize a lot in the red zone. There's a couple other guys. Michael Thomas, he just got put on the injured reserve list. Yeah. So I know he was supposed to play a huge part in this offense. Now that they have Jarvis Landry, drafted Chris Olave, Michael Thomas is supposed to be the guy, the wide receiver one, and we're all been waiting for him. So he could be a huge sleeper if you draft him late in the rounds. He will be coming back off of IR. There's a lot of guys on there. Who else? Who else is on there? You can't put. I mean, I guess you could put Deshaun Watson, but I'm not too sure. After seeing what he did the first preseason game, he looked very rusty. Mm-hmm. Don't really want to put all your chips in that basket there. Who else? There's been a couple. There's been a lot of injuries.
A lot of guys that are injured, suspended.
Robert Woods, Michael Gallup. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. Cool. But yeah, hey, Cricket H, thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, go ahead and let us know. But those are just a few guys that you could probably steal at the very end. I was very big on Alvin Kamara because I thought he was going to get suspended, but I guess not. But like I said, still on that team, you have Michael Thomas, who could be a huge hit for you. Yeah. Also, no one else, huh?
No.
Cool.
I can think of right now.
But I'm glad we did bring up Gus Edwards, because J.K. Dobbins is one of the wide receivers that I do have on the up and up. But there's also 2 more receivers that I'm very psyched out of my mind for. And they both, because of the same reason, okay? I have Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb. Can you see Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb as an RB2 for your fantasy league? HE double hockey sticks, you can. Come on, guys. Right now, Josh Jacobs is a huge rise right now, because Kenyon Drake just got cut from the team because they could not finalize a deal for his contract. So he's done. He wanted to be traded anyways. He got cut. And the way they have been using Josh Jacobs, or if you at least saw the first preseason game with him, that guy is on another level. I'm so excited to see him. I do believe he can be RB2 and bounce back from such a terrible year. And right now, Nick Chubb is on the same boat because Kareem Hunt wants to get traded as well, and they have not found a common ground just yet. So if that does happen, Nick Chubb is already a top 10 running back. His draft stock is going to go way higher. So I'm super excited there. Isaiah Martinez. What's up, Isaiah? How you been, dude? I haven't crossed your ankles in a long time.
Jeez.
Turpentine. Yeah, I'm super excited to see what he could do if he can do something. Let's see. Isaiah Thor says the rookie running back for the Jets is going to be great. I do feel like he will be great just because obviously Zach Wilson is injured. He is going to miss the first game for sure. How much are they going to rely on that running game? Okay, because they got to keep the defense honest, and there's only so much that a defensive-minded coach can do. What do you guys think? You guys have anyone else on the rise?
I've got Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield on the rise?
Yeah, man, they named the starter. I think you guys talked about that yesterday.
We did talk about it yesterday when you missed the show. But Reed,
yes.
was it really a surprise that Baker Mayfield was going to be the starter for the Carolina Panthers?
Yes, but now, no, it wasn't a surprise. But now that it's locked in, now you have no worry about drafting him as your QB2. He's not QB1. I'm not.
Okay, I was about to lose it right there.
I'm not on last year's thing I said about him going 40-8. I'm not saying that again. But QB2 for Baker Mayfield, he has a huge upside. If he plays great, he could be a great person for either your bye week or potentially take over your QB1 spots.
I feel like he can only be great if Christian McCaffrey is healthy. I believe we touched base on this. If Christian McCaffrey goes down again, there is no chance where Baker Mayfield is even a QB2. I just don't see it because Christian McCaffrey, he's your wide receiver 1 and your running back 1. I don't know.
It's
I don't
true.
know. Are you on the same page here, Vince?
I like Baker Mayfield, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to draft him this year or if I would want to draft him. Again, he's with a new team. It's all dependent on who's going to stay healthy and if DJ Moore is going to be the same guy with him. I'm pretty sure he will be, but it's all dependent on the quarterback position and him getting the ball to his stars on the offensive side. But I do think the Panthers are on the rise. So if you do have the ability to draft Baker Mayfield, I would, especially for a QB2 position, just like Reed said. And especially if you have those double QB fantasy type leagues, definitely get him. He could possibly be a breakout guy this year. But some other guys on the rise that I have that really nobody's been talking about, but AJ talks about him quite a bit. His name is Michael Pittman. He's with the Colts. Nobody really talks about the Colts unless they're going to be on Hard Knocks or something like that, like they were last year, I believe, mid-season. But he's got Matty Ice now, Matt Ryan. He's going to be slinging the ball there. He's not in his prime anymore, but he is a good quarterback. I would say that maybe he can be just as good as Baker Mayfield with the Panthers. But again, it's going to depend on how good Michael Pittman is because he is the clear number 1 and the clear star there for the Colts offense besides Jonathan Taylor. But rumor has it that Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman have had a connection that's been pretty good since the first day that they put on full pads. So, I mean, he's pretty much locked in as Colts number 1. And I just think that he's the best wide receiver on that team. And his position for his average drafting position is 53. So again, don't reach for him, but don't forget about him because he should be gone round 4, 5, or 6, depending on what league you're in.
Michael Pittman, that's a good pick right there. And I do have a lot of confidence in Matty Ice. So, Israel, you are spitting facts here. You definitely would. I do have him as a top 15 wide receiver for fantasy. I'm very excited. Who else is he going to throw to? I mean, they got, a rookie out there that he's pretty impressed with. But really, what option are they going to rely on? One draft stock that went way down, and I do mean way, way down, and it was probably already low as it is, but it could have been a sleeper. It's the Washington Commanders defense. Ooh. I have them going down. As of today, Chase Young got placed in the, was it PUP list or IR? Yeah. PUP list.
PUP list.
Yeah. The physically unable to perform list. So he is going to be out for at least like the first 4 games. Mm-hmm. And that is huge. He is the key to that defense for them being consistent and taking control. Don't forget about Ty. Israel Toda says Ty. He's a free agent.
He's
Yep.
gone.
Yeah, he's not there with the Colts anymore. So he is a free agent. He has not signed to a team yet. He will be a great, wide receiver 3 flex.
Yeah.
Maybe he is out of his prime, but he does have great hands. But yeah, Matty Ice doesn't have Ty, man. He doesn't have it. Yeah, I know. Square. Me too. But but yeah, watch the Commanders defense. Rest in peace. You have Montez Sweat and Chase Young. He's going through another injury. It is just unfortunate, very unfortunate for the team.
Yeah, man. It's like as soon as we started hyping him up, they just decided to fall off the face of the earth. So, super unfortunate, but things happen like that.
Yeah, no, very true. There is another guy I want to talk about, and I hate talking about my own team, and that's a lie because I love talking about my own team. He's a rookie, and he's been freaking phenomenal this offseason. I'm talking about Danny Gray, wide receiver, San Francisco 49ers, Danny Gray. And yes, I understand we have Deebo Samuel, and yes, I understand we have Brandon Ayuk, but as of recent, our wide receiver 3 has not been performing to what we expected him to perform, and he's getting outperformed by a rookie wide receiver Danny Gray. And so I'm super excited, and there is a chance where he could be a huge sleeper because I really hope it doesn't happen. But if history repeats itself, Deebo Samuel could get injured. Okay, and that moves Brandon Ayuk to the wide receiver 1 position, and that wide receiver 2, I could definitely see that getting the most receptions because Brandon Ayuk is a deep threat, and Danny Gray is just a speedster, and they're going to want to utilize him very similarly to Deebo Samuel if we do not have Deebo Samuel actually out there. You think Turpin could be the next Devin Hester?
You would hope, man. That'd be a guy to have for sure.
I don't know about that one, man. I mean, you have high hopes for someone, but he has been showing a lot training camp, preseason. I'm very excited to see what he has to do, especially with if he does get an opportunity to be out there with Dak Prescott. But he needs to step up because the Cowboys do need a wide receiver to step up, and Brown, I know he's a vet there. I don't think he has that it factor. I think one of these young guys needs to come in and really take that role until your wide receiver room gets fully healthy. Because he's so fast and quick. Still has, he does have much to learn, but what better chance do you have than to start off the season without any stress? I don't want to say any stress, but not as much stress because you still got CeeDee Lamb out there, you still got Dalton Schultz, and then you have a running game with Zeke and Pollard. And I say Zeke very take that with a grain of salt. Really, it's Pollard. But yes, he needs to be out there. He needs to show him training camp. If he does start out there with the 53-man roster as a starting offense, I do believe this could be huge for you guys in the future, allowing him to develop much, much more than all these other rookie wide receivers in the league because he is put in a great position in a winning team. And yes, I did say winning team and a playoff caliber team. They need to win that division. I'm tired of all these people saying, hey, Eagles have it this year. It's not it. It's not in that division.
Ooh, you just brought up the team I was about to talk about, AJ.
Go for it.
So, I mean, every time we talk about the Cowboys, I always want to talk about the Eagles because I think the Eagles have a real shot this year of keeping up to par with the Cowboys if my suggestions are correct. So the guy that I have that's going to be on the rise, and it's my last guy that's on the rise for this video, his name is Devonta Smith. And you guys might remember him last year as the guy who dropped at least 20 passes throughout the year. So why am I going to talk about him? And that's because Jalen Hurts is going to take it to the next level. But also Devonta Smith is too. He's coming into his second year. He's got some things to prove. He's got a new coach with Nick Sirianni, who used to be a wide receiver coach back when he coached in Indiana and Pennsylvania. So after going to the Kansas City Chiefs and switching over to the defensive side, Nick Sirianni might be able to test Devonta Smith a little bit better with the guys that they have there at the corner position. So I think Devonta Smith has a lot of upside. He's going at an average draft pick of 91 in most fantasy leagues. So that's around 9, 10 the round for whichever draft you're going in. So again, don't draft him too early, but if he's there and you need another quality guy to be off your bench or at the flex position, I think Devonta Smith might take it to another level this year. He could be a wide receiver 2 for Jalen Hurts.
Okay, nicely said. Nicely said. Reed, you got anything?
Well, first off, before I go into my next player, I will say I think Romeo Doubs could be better than Danny Gray just because he has better stats so far as fantasy stats. So, I mean, maybe. But as far as stock going up, I think Allen Lazard's stock has gone up a little bit. Continuing talking about the Packers right now, Allen Lazard was not officially not by Matt LaFleur named as one of the go-to people, but Aaron Rodgers doubled down again on Allen Lazard, saying he's going to be our number one receiver. He's the guy who Aaron Rodgers trusts the most. And I think there's the potential that these two could have a very special season this year. As far as how likely that is, there's a possibility of it, but it's very, very low. And I think as far as having like a truly number like top 15 wide receiver in the league, I think he's a top 20, top 30 potentially, depending on how well they connect. But I think Aaron Rodgers saying again just how much he trusts Allen Lazard. I think you just have more reason to draft Allen Lazard, maybe in the 6th, 7th round, in my opinion.
Israel says that he'll take the rookie instead of Allen Lazard.
I assume he's saying Dobbs or Dupes or however.
Dobbs. It's Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Dupes. I like Dupes.
Dupes.
No.
I like that. Dupes. Romeo Dupes.
No.
I'm just playing with you.
Nice, cool. I mean, I don't have any more stock updates just yet or just right now. But if you guys haven't yet, go check out our Not So Pro TikTok, man. It's called NSP Football Talk. A lot of fun stuff out there. Pretty cool. We got some fantasy advice on there as well. We are doing a fantasy football league. We have 2 spots available. If people do want to join or continue to join, we already have 10 people on there. We can make it a 12-man league if you are interested. So if you are, go ahead and let us know. Find us on Twitter, email us, TikTok, DM us, whatever, if you are interested in doing so. But yeah, that's been our fantasy stocks up and downs. Okay, it's going to be a lot of news coming out. I think next week we should do something fun, like we should do like fantasy punishments. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, let's take I guess we'll take a fantasy bye week before we actually get into the fantasy season and we actually start grinding all these stats, because this will be the next week will be the last week where we do not grind stats, and Vince and I know how that goes.
Oh man, I love stats. You guys know me from last year. That's all I talked about.
Oh yeah. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, we will be having our fantasy draft live. So that will be in 2 weeks. So if you guys want to hear or see that, go ahead and join in. It will be after our fantasy football talk. We'll record another live video afterwards. So you guys don't have to wait. Just join in. It will be at 7:00. So go ahead and join in, talk some trash with us, and videos will be open. So if you guys want to join us live here so people could see you and hear you live, that option is open if you guys do want to join with us. But until next time, you guys, appreciate y'all being here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We're trying to grow on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It helps out a lot. Hit that like button, notification bell if you can. And until next time, keep on grinding.